Hey Fragrance family, I'm David, I'm a fragrance bro. Welcome to another single review. I'm solo this time. I wanted to get this review out as quickly as I could, and this is an exciting one because it's on a new Imaginary Authors fragrance called Oh Unknown. Now this one really came out of nowhere. He really didn't have any kind of lead up to this. I think just like he's been teasing it just here and there for like a week, and that's it. He sent this to me a little bit ahead of time. I got a little travel sprayer here. All right, so let's go ahead and start the review. Date introduced is 2017, this year obviously. It's classified as an Oriental Woody. Notes are black tea, lapsang souchong tincture, orris butter, Kyoto moss, musk balsam, sandalwood, and an imaginary note of just question mark, question mark, question mark. It's the Riddler note. For longevity on this, it's pretty good. I get in the average range, and I'm glad for that because it's somewhat of a lighter fragrance, which I'll get into in a second. And I was hoping that it wasn't gonna be as light as St. Julep was. St. Julep was very light, but this one lasted in the average range. I got about 8 hours out of it, maybe a little bit more. As for projection, it's pretty light. And it's gonna sit either average at the start and then kind of just a skin scent for most of that time. But it does linger for quite a while, and I think that the sillage on it is pretty decent, so I think people will get whiffs of it, but it's not gonna push out very far. For season, this is definitely a fall scent, great for fall, so it's coming out at the perfect time this year, really glad for that. I also think this would work really well in the spring. I think this could be used day or night, probably mostly in the daytime. For purpose, I think this is mostly a casual scent, but I think it could also be used for work as well because it's pretty inoffensive. All right, so my main thoughts about this fragrance. I like this fragrance, but I don't love it. So let me get that out of the way right away. And I'm a huge fan of Imaginary Authors. I have reviews of most of the fragrances in their line. I still have some that I need to do, but I'm a big fan of Imaginary Authors. So when this came out, of course, I was in my fanboy moment, really looking forward to it. I smelled it, and it's good. It just doesn't blow me away, and that's kind of a little bit unfortunate. This is definitely a tea-based scent. Black tea, of course, is at the forefront, and then that lapsang souchong tincture is another tea, so it's very much in the tea realm here. Overall, this is a very, very dry, woody tea fragrance. And when I say tea, some people might think of iced tea, or they may think of hot tea with maybe some sugar or cream in it. This is not that. This is really like smelling tea leaves, and that's really what it is. It's a very dry tea. Did I mention this was dry? The tea note is very rich and full, and it has kind of a almost floral undertone that really good tea does. So that's really interesting that he got like a very photorealistic version of tea in here. There are other scents out there that do tea as well, but they go in different directions. This one definitely is dry and photorealistic. There is some iris in there. The orris butter gives you kind of a little bit of a lipstick sticky quality in there. It's not overpowering, it's kind of like a connector between the tea and the sandalwood. The sandalwood is definitely present, and I really like the sandalwood in this. The sandalwood really reminds me of Eccentric 04, that type of sandalwood. I don't think it's the same thing, but it is that kind of very friendly, very wearable, somewhat lighter sandalwood. Really, really love that here, and it works extremely well with the tea here. As for the other notes, I don't really get much of any other notes, except for the Riddler note. The question mark note is definitely prominent. Whenever you first spray it on, there's something really nice about the way it smells. There's something about it that has kind of a raisin or a date-like smell, like the fruit dates. And I really like it for that, but I wish it was just a little bit stronger. That goes away, and then it's just a really dry tea for a little while, and then it just turns into sandalwood later on. Some people have said they smell like tobacco in here, or they get like a tobacco vibe. I don't get that at all. I wish I did, because I like that, but I don't get that here at all. When I heard about this fragrance, I was extremely excited, and I knew that I would probably like it. And when it came out, I didn't really like it as much as I thought I would, and that's really disappointing. I think it's okay, but to me it doesn't seem quite as good as Imaginary Authors usually is. This seems a little bit more simplistic than Imaginary Authors usually is, and it seems a little hollow. I definitely get highs and lows. I get the top and the bottom, but not a lot of mids. And even though the tea note is interesting, it's not necessarily as wearable as I would like. Lately, Josh Meyer has made some fragrances that I think are outstanding. St. Julep has been amazing. Every Storm and Serenade was really, really fantastic. And of course, he has some other ones that are amazing as well, like Memoirs of a Trespasser, Cobra and the Canary, which are mind-blowing. All those are just fantastic. This one is not complex though, and that is kind of perplexing to me in a little bit. It smells good and it's fine, but for a niche fragrance, and especially something from Imaginary Authors, I just kind of expected there would be just more wonder there than there is. I'm really interested in seeing what everyone else thinks of this and see if they agree or disagree. So let me know down in the comments what you think. As for compliments, I mean, I didn't really get any compliments. It sits closer to the skin. My wife thought it was a little bit weird. Because of the dryness, it has kind of almost a wicker type of smell, almost like a dried flower type of smell. And I don't think that's something that a lot of people would compliment, honestly. Bang for buck, this is $95 for a 50 ml, which is the usual value that you get from Imaginary Authors. And I think if you like it, I mean, I think it's a fair value. So I think you'll definitely get your money's worth if you put down the coin for it. So my final rating for this, I'm gonna give a 3 out of 5. It's definitely not bad, and it's definitely good. It falls short on kind of the benchmark that Imaginary Authors has set for themselves. They usually do really well with a balancing act between artistic and wearable. This to me is a little bit more on the artistic side and less on the wearable side. And again, although I think it's very nice and it's well done in the way it is, it's a little bit hollow smelling and it just doesn't blow me away, unfortunately. So 3 out of 5. So that's all I have for this review. I know this just came out, so if you haven't tried it, I'll have a link down below to Imaginary Authors website where you can go and get a sample at least and try it out. But whenever you try it, let me know what you think down in the comments down below. If you like it, love it, hate it, let me know. And of course, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe on the way out. I'll see you next time. I'm David the Fragrance Bros. Bye. Thanks everyone for watching. If you like this video, don't forget to check out my other channel, Beast Made Reviews, where me and a friend review high quality products for men. You might like it. Go check it out.